people cannot cover 50 or 57 states. And Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico, remember that? Yeah, they get to vote too. So in actuality, well, and Washington, D.C. is another district. So actually, it's 52 or 59, depending on how you look at it, voting districts. Well, wait a minute. Now, there's more than that because, we got the Virgin Islands. I think the U.S. Virgin, do they vote? I think, our protectorates out there, like out in the Pacific, I think they vote too, right? I don't know if it actually counts. They don't get the delegates or anything, but they still get to vote, I do believe. The includes the United States will have 44 observers in different states meeting with stakeholders. What the hell is a stakeholder? It could be, I guess one of two things. The person who's holding a 10-ounce sirloin, or a person who has a stake, a financial stake in our what's a stakeholder? Including candidates, local media, and other on-the-ground actors? I'm reading the report, folks, word for word here. Let me repeat this paragraph again. On November 6th, the OSCE, a 56-country security and conflict resolution organization that includes the United States, will have 44 observers in different states meeting with stakeholders, including candidates, local media, and other on-the-ground actors, as well as a team of 13 election analysts in Washington, D.C., who will focus on specific issues such as demographic turnout nationally. This is enough to make me want to drop the F-bomb. I am dead serious. What the bleep? Whose idea was this? This is worse than the UN. This is some organization nobody's ever heard of before. The what? The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe? They're going to have 44 stakeholders, including candidates in the local media? And what on the ground actors versus, I don't know, actors in the air? Actors? Is Tom Cruise and Ben Affleck and all those guys, are they stakeholders too in this? What about just the regular American people? How about the 310 American people, the 310 million American people? How about that? We're the stakeholders. Who are these people? The 2012 race is the sixth U.S. election the OSCE has observed since 2002. And since then, access to voting precincts across the country has been largely dependent on the reaction of state and local officials. This is the sixth time? Did you know? I didn't know this. Why wasn't this reported before? And if that's the case, then where were these observers when the new Black Panthers were intimidating voters in 2008? In Texas, for example, the Attorney General is the chief law enforcement authority. So if the state law as written and as the AG is going to enforce it, says the election observers, can't go in. We will report that. Report it to whom? Who the hell are these people reporting to? Oh, yes. Oh, if there's a law in Texas that says that we can't go in, and the Attorney General of that state says that we'll be arrested if we go, and we can't go into that state, we'll report it. Well, who are they reporting it to? Now, earlier this week on Tuesday, Iowa followed Texas's move and warned of arrest if observers violate state election law by coming within 300 feet of polling places. In Texas, is 100 feet. Well, I guess they're going to report that. Who are they reporting to? Political doesn't tell us in the story. Maybe I'm missing it somewhere. I'll link to it on rodeccles.com. Well, let me tell you, this is absolutely inane, folks. This is insane. It's pure, unadulterated insanity. We've got foreigners coming into the United States that most Americans don't even know about, going to observe our elections and then reporting their findings to whom? Big freaking hairy. This is the United States of America. We do not get audited by you. Who the hell do I think I am? I'm an American. Who the hell do you think you are? Some snotty-nosed little liberal European who had to have their butt saved by this country twice. Don't give me this crap. Hey, if it wasn't, I know liberals hate to be reminded of this. Liberal socialists in this country hate to be reminded of this. But if it wasn't for a conservative military, there would be no Europe right now. It would be Germany. There would be no Asia. It'd be all Japan. Good. And they who can't even keep the peace over there is going to come here and observe our elections and then report their findings? When did the world become so upside down? You give them a generation, and I bet you give them another generation in the educational system in this country, and I bet they will have kids believing in 100 years that the United States started both world wars. Give them enough time. We're almost there. No, this one world crap. This isn't frickin' Star Trek. There isn't going to be a federation of planets, and there isn't going to be a federation at all. I don't think mankind will ever come under the jurisdiction of one, because it won't be free. If the world comes under one world government, it won't be free. It won't have a constitution that protects the people's God-given rights. It won't. It won't be free. We will not be a free planet. This is insane. We've got observers. They can't even make sure that other countries have fair elections, and they're going to be worried about ours? Oh, I tell you, because of Obama. Well, they're really concerned that they're going to lose Obama. They are concerned as hell that they're afraid that the United States will elect a leader, a real leader, that will reassert the notion that the United States is the world's current lone military and economic superpower. No, we won't be that forever, no matter who's in the White House, really. I keep warning people, look, China's an up-and-comer. They're going to be an economic and military superpower, if they aren't already. But right now, we're it, and we're fading. Because we got idiotic leadership that let these jackasses from Europe and other parts of the world that can't even give themselves fair elections, but yet they're going to observe ours. I don't know how inane that is, but that is just absolutely insane.
Stupid is forever.
Yeah, you can't fix it. It's just unbelievable. I'm sorry, folks, but no, I'm not sorry. I can't be sorry. This is my country. I was lucky enough to be born here. This is my land, my country. And I'll be damned if I just let a bunch of foreigners march in and start observing and dictating how we operate our country. You know, where are you liberals jumping up and down against this? Because you hate it when the U.S. interferes in any shape, manner, or form in any other country. Even if the people of that country ask for our assistance, you don't want to have anything to do with it. But you're okay with other countries coming here meddling in our affairs. We're not supposed to meddle in anybody else's affairs, but we're going to let everybody meddle in ours. And for the record, I am not for meddling in other countries' affairs unless the people or their government ask for our assistance. Or, in the case where there's going to be genocide, we need to take out an evil government. Yeah, are we the world's police? No. But because we are the land of the free, we are a superpower, we have certain obligations to make sure that dictators do not get certain footholds. Because if we just let dictators spring up all over the place and do whatever the hell they want, then at some point it's going to affect us. So you can say it's a little bit selfish to limit the number of deadly and dangerous and idiotic dictators all over the planet. It helps keep us safe a little bit safer. Because, when you let them go unchecked, they can do all kinds of things like terrorism and bring down economic icons like the Twin Towers. You can't let these people go unchecked. But we're going to let them come here. And then I still want to know who they report to. And what good is it reporting? Folks, I don't know how many times I've said this before. It is time for the UN, the United Nations, to get the hell out of the U.S. Go to Switzerland, Geneva. They're a neutral country. Well, they always claim to be that. Go there. We don't need you here. I don't think the Swiss would put up with. I know the problem with Swiss is that all men under the age of like 50 have to have a gun. They don't want to be. Those dictators and thugs. They don't want to be in a nation where everybody has to have a gun. They wouldn't be able to get away with anything that they're able to get away with here. This is why the UN is not in Texas, by the way. It's in New York. I'm surprised they didn't put it in Washington, D.C. when they tried to ban handguns there. But they don't have it in Texas for a reason. Because if they pulled half the shenanigans in Texas that they did, there'd be some dead diplomats and dead diplomats' children and employees and things like that. No, that's why they don't want to go to Switzerland. I'm convinced of it. These people, they've taken over New York City. They've got their international mayor Doomberg. Yeah. Is the UN helping with the cleanup at all of New York City? Has anybody asked that question? Where are all these delegates in New York? Are they lifting a finger to help New Yorkers? I haven't seen a single story on that. And yet we're supposed to be okay with them being here, observing everything we do, and reporting to some mysterious entity. I don't think so. It's time for the UN and all of these observers to get out of the U.S.
This is not a message of happiness or reassurance. It is a crisis of confidence. The productivity of American workers is naturally dropping.
aren't out there.